intertwined deeply with gratitude for lives well lived that touched our own. So we hold up all those who passed away this week. Our prayer this morning is by Michael Leduc. May we look with gratitude upon this day for the beauty of the world, for the first radiance of dawn and the last smoldering glow of sunset. Let us be thankful for physical joys, for hills to climb and hard work to do, for music that lifts our hearts in one breath, for the hand clasp of a friend, and for the gracious loveliness of children who remind us of the wonders of life. May we be appreciative above all for the concern and love of those around us, for the exceeding bliss of the touch of the holy, which suddenly awakes our drowsy souls to the blessed awareness of the divine within us and within others. For all this, and for the countless other blessings present in our lives, let us be grateful. Amen. Read the paragraphs. If you would please join me with the refrain, "We give thanks this day." 5:12. For the expanding grandeur of creation, worlds known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us with awe and challenging our imaginations, we give thanks this day. For this fragile planet Earth, its times and tides, its sunsets and seasons, we give thanks this day. For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements, we give thanks this day. For our human community, our common past and future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression, we give thanks this day. For high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared, we give thanks this day. For all who have labored and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom, we give thanks this day. For human liberty and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose, we give thanks this day. We pray that we may live not by our fears, but by our hopes, not by our words, but by our deeds. Thank you. He said, unless our Unitarian Universalist faith is mere intellectual affectation, the defining element of our faith must be a daily practice of some kind. What kind of practice? For Jews, he says, the defining discipline is obedience. To be a faithful Jew is to obey the commandments of God. For Christians, the defining discipline is love. To be a faithful Christian is to love God and to love your neighbor as yourself. For Muslims, the defining discipline is submission. To be a faithful Muslim is to submit to the will of Allah, he says. And what of us? What should our defining religious discipline be? While obedience, love, and even submission each play a vital role in the life of faith, he says, my current conviction is that our defining discipline should be gratitude. Why gratitude? Reverend Galen says, 2 dimensions of gratitude make it fitting as our defining religious practice. One has to do with a discipline of gratitude, and the other has to do with an ethic of gratitude. The discipline of gratitude reminds us how utterly dependent we are on the people and world around us for everything that matters. From this flows an ethic of gratitude that demands that we nurture the world that nurtures us in return. Can you think about how different our day might be if, along with our morning practices of brushing our teeth and drinking our coffee, we also practiced gratitude? If we began our day with just one thing that we are grateful for. I know that some mornings we would have to be content with just being grateful that we got out of bed. But other mornings, we could be grateful for the sunrise, for our dreams, for the person sleeping next to us, for a happy memory that fluttered by unbidden, for the leaves changing color outside our window. Even with so much grief and sadness and heartache in the world, can you imagine how our day would be different if gratitude was our starting place? Maybe here at the Meeting House, we were on to Reverend Galen's idea a bit already. We always begin our candles of joy and sorrow with a candle of gratitude. Gratitude is already a deep spiritual practice for us. And like other practices, we need to practice it to do it well. Through practice, we can actually strengthen our gratitude muscles. The more we voice our gratitude, the more we notice and see to be thankful for. The more we say thank you, the more we develop that ethic of gratitude and nurture the world that nurtures us in return. Here is what I am grateful for about this community this morning. I'm grateful for the music and the choir. I'm grateful that you are such a playful congregation, that you dress up water bottles and laugh when I tell jokes, and that your biggest fundraiser of the year is drag bingo. I'm grateful that you think of us during the week and not just on Sundays. Every time you saw a dime this year, you saved it for us. When you went to the grocery store or the farm or wherever you went and saw these very cool giant pumpkins, you bought them for us. I'm grateful that you are committed to justice. You and the board of directors stood behind the Social Action Committee when we decided to hang a Black Lives Matter banner on our door. And you stand outside Town Hall every month with Racial Justice Provincetown, spreading a message of love and equality. You marched in the Carnival Parade with Gays Against Guns. You and your ribbons are on their way to a Native American reservation in North Dakota to stand with Standing Rock. You are getting on a bus this week to go to the State House to demand a safe shutdown of the Pilgrim nuclear power plant. I'm grateful that we have such a great staff here that keeps this place running. April, our office administrator, Mary, our music director, Brenda, our accompanist and pianist, and James, our sexton. I am so grateful for this small and mighty crew that is so dedicated to this place. I'm grateful that you care deeply about this building and our grounds. You planted mums last week when nobody saw. You fixed our lawnmower. You're planning a cleanup day. You come in when no one is looking and polish the candlesticks and clean the glass lampshade next to the pulpit. You hand-stitched our beautiful altar cloths. I'm grateful that you are willing to learn new things, that a group of us is attending a workshop on right relations at the end of this month, and that when I quote books in my sermons, you want me to remind you of the title so that you can read the whole thing. I'm grateful that you care about each other, that you call each other when you haven't seen someone for a few weeks, that you give each other rides to the doctor through our Helping Hands program, that you invite yourself over when someone is feeling blue and isolating themselves. I'm grateful that you include us in your life events. When a new grandchild or a great niece is born, you light a candle so that we can share in the joy. When you are in the hospital, you call me so I can come see you. When you were celebrating your anniversary, you bought these gorgeous flowers for us to mark the occasion. When your friend passed away this week, you said, I know where you can do the memorial service. I am grateful for this beloved community. It's special. We expect it to be here for us. We get used to it. We take it for granted sometimes, and we even occasionally resent it because it isn't perfect. But when we take time to list the things we are grateful for and why, we realize it's special. In an article for the UU publication Quest, Cassandra Fisher writes, "When I say I have found my tribe, what I mean is that I have found a community of people I enjoy sharing earth with. Really. My tribe is the people I stand next to while I cook, while I work, while I play, while I mourn, while I grow, and who stand next to me. Life comes at us one moment after the next, and how we respond defines us," she says. "My tribe is made simply of the people who have responded beautifully, as well as they could, as effectively and hilariously and deliciously and disastrously, and as helpfully as they could. During one of those moments, that person did it right. Not necessarily gracefully or even well, but right. It fit. They made it all work. My tribe is not all people I like," she says. "It's not all people I agree with or even get along with. There are people I dearly love who I cannot stand to be in the same room with for very long. But those moments that come at us change everything. Sometimes it's subtle, sometimes startling, but there's always change. A deeper smile line, a new scar, a work of art. My tribe is not a still pond. Some days it rages and thrashes like the ocean in a storm. Some days it is all four seasons at once. We are many and varied and ever changing, and we are doing it together here on this planet. We may not always be entirely happy about all of it. Some days, some moments, it's absolutely infuriating to be human. But I am. We are. And the fury is an energy that can be directed, blended, integrated. It need not be an isolated, cold fury that hardens the heart, but can instead be shared and warmed and used to promote change. The further we share it, the greater the chance that the change will integrate and spread out in a trillion little ways. And this is what we do. We offer of ourselves, she says. We share and accept from one another. And who we are and what we want to do with our lives becomes part of what we are all doing with our lives. We become a whole by being together, by joining our flames, our passions. We light the way toward the future. Watch us shine. I know that you are grateful for this place and this community because you've told me. You've told me that this place has helped you through illness, through depression, through the loss of loved ones, through breakups, through crises of faith. You've told me that this place has helped you to find your voice, to forgive others and yourselves, to work for justice, to center your thoughts and to ground your spirit. You have told me that this place has helped you to find meaning and to make meaning and to say what you mean and to mean what you say. You've told me that this community, these people are like family to you, that they are your tribe. Sometimes it's a first-time visitor who says that to me. I've found my people. I feel at home here. I know all of this because you've told me. But I don't know if you've told each other. I don't know if you've told each other often enough. This morning, our theme is gratitude. And throughout our pledge season, we are going to be expressing our gratitude for this place in many different ways. But right now, I want to invite you to express gratitude in a very personal way by writing someone a thank you note. This is an opportunity to practice gratitude, to strengthen that thankfulness muscle as part of your spiritual practice. It's as easy as writing a few lines to a person in this community. They're here on this side too. Thanks. Writing a few lines to a person in this community who has been there for you or who has been there for this place that you love. It can be in a large or a small way. It can be for something recent or for something from years ago, something you were part of or something you witnessed from afar. One of the things we can do for each other as a community is to be a place where we express gratitude freely, where we practice being thankful, where we say thank you. And my helpers are going around now handing each of you a thank you note and a pen. We might be short on pens. If you have a pen, use that one. And I want you to take the next few minutes to write someone a thank you note. If you are a visitor, you can write the thank you note to someone back home who you are grateful for. If you are a member or friend, try to write your note to someone here at the UU Meeting House who you would like to thank. And Brenda is going to play some music while we take just a few moments to write out our card. Practice gratitude.